You ever had a Monday morning where you just weren't feeling it? Welcome to Thank God It's Monday. I'm your host, Eric Twiggs. Joining me is Ted Fells, and we are the Digital Dudes. And today we're going to talk about how to keep bringing it when you're just not feeling it. And so, Ted, I've been reading this great book. It's called Chop Wood and Carry Water. It's written by Joshua Metcalf. And in it, he has this story that's really going to help us out today. So the story is told of this architect, right? He'd been working for this firm for 30 years, and he's known as the best architect in the industry. I mean, this in the industry. I mean, he's got this outrageously high attention to detail. He only used the best material when he's building his houses. He only brought on the best people for the project. He was very hands-on with his houses. When he built these houses, I mean, he took personal. It was like it was his own. He really just took a lot of time to build these houses. He's known as the best architect. So he got to a point where he said, "Look, I want to retire. I've been doing this for 30 years. I'm ready to move on, go on vacation, keep it moving." Right. And so the company comes to him and they say, "Okay, great. We respect your decision. We're sad to lose you, but we have one more project that we want you to work on. I want you to do this one more project. And after that, you can retire because this is a very important client that we have. I need you to build this house for this very important client." So they give him the project, and he's upset. Ted, he's not feeling it, right? Because he's like, "I want to go off on vacation. I've been doing this for 30 years. How dare they ask me to work with this on this one more house?" So he just goes through the motion. Normally he gets the best materials, but this time he just got whatever he can find. He's got the mediocre materials. Normally he brought in the best people for the project. This time he just was like, "Oh, okay, whatever." He didn't really take the time to prepare. And normally he's really hands-on with his project, but this time he just kind of delegated from a distance. Like, do what you do, okay. Yeah, and just went through the motions. Didn't take the time he normally would take. Finished the project, goes back to his supervisors. "Okay, look, the house is done. Now I want to retire." They said, "Okay, right. We have a meeting tomorrow, and we want you to be there." And the guy's like, "Man, what, they're going to ask me to build another house? Oh my goodness." He gets to the meeting, and all of his coworkers are there, and his supervisor is there. The supervisor hands him this box, and in the box is a set of keys. And the supervisor says to him, "Hey, you know what? We really appreciate all the time and the hard work you put in. You're the best of the best. So as a token of our appreciation, that house you were just building was for you." So the question is, Ted, how do you keep bringing it when you're just not feeling it? Here's the takeaway, coming right from the story. You're always building your own house.
Mm.
That's the takeaway. You have that, like, you're always building your own house, because a lot of times when you're going through, you're not feeling it, you don't see an immediate result to what you're doing, right? Or sometimes you may have a dream, but you're doing something else, and
Yeah.
you don't see how that connects to what you really want to do. But in reality, it does. And a lot of times, it's years down the road, you see that experience is really helping you in the next experience. So
Mm.
if you really want to make sure you're bringing it, you always have to operate as if you were building your own house, because you really are. And if you can really have that focus, like you're building your own house, and you recognize that how you do anything is how you do everything, you'll be positioned to shout, "Thank God it's Monday." Ted, what are your thoughts?
Wow. Man, that's deep. That's deep. I don't know how to. And I tell you sometimes, man, you don't leave any meat on the bone. And this is one of those times. I don't know what really I can add to. It's the guy was, kind of wanting to coast out, and little did he know that he really ended up probably cheating himself, right?
Exactly.
By coasting out, right? Just said, I'm just on this. I'm just going to make this. I'm going to use materials that are not the greatest. I'm going to bring in whatever resources I can find and just not give his A game, right, like he normally does, right? And thinking that, hey, whatever, but he ended up cheating himself. So I guess from what the point I get from this is you always need to give your A game. You always need to give your A game, right? Because that A game could be an audition for something else. If you think about it from a standpoint of, again, we always talk sports, right? And you got these players out there every year that are on teams and they're trying to make the team, right? And you said that last preseason game, oftentimes, you got a lot of these guys that are probably long shots to make the team, but they're playing their hearts out
Mm-hmm.
because if they can't make this team, they're hoping to be able to make another roster, right? And so they think hey, I need to go out there and I need to give my very best at this situation. If I have this dream of being in the NFL. And so I just think that, from what I'm getting from this is, again, you're always gotta be giving your A game. And Monday, right? It's just you're going through a weekend and you feel like, I don't really have it in me. Could be the opportunity. That could be that time that you get that big client that you've been trying to get. That could be the opportunity where someone else will see you and you may get that promotion, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you never know when that opportunity, when opportunity knocks for you, and you just can't afford to half step. So yeah, even when you're not feeling it, you gotta put your foot down on that pedal, and give your very best. And yeah, that was just a great story. I kind of knew where it was going as you were talking about it, and I was like, they hand him them keys, boy. He built this this shaky home, man, that he's gonna have to live in or try to fix up. So, but it was great.
Yeah, and I think you end up with regret when you don't bring it because
Hmm.
you could miss it. Like this guy, he's regretting it. What if I just did my normal and brought my best? I would have had a much better product.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
I mean, you touched on something I think everybody needs to highlight is that you have to act like you're always auditioning for that next level. That's what you have to bring because you never know who's watching. You just never know what's around the corner. So,
yeah. You never know who's watching, even from a standpoint of some of your peers and looking at how you deal with certain situations. Because I've had situations like that too, when people have been like, "Yeah, I really watch how you dealt with this situation, that situation," and I was like,
yep,
"Really?" So yeah, so it's just a lot of reasons why you should, give your A game while you're, you know, uh, in a certain position.
absolutely. So hopefully we've inspired you to bring your best so that you can, as you are logging off as you're putting your phone down, you'll be shouting, "Thank
Thank
God
God
it's
it's
Monday."
Monday. That's
Absolutely.
right.
That's
Yeah,
Ted.
bring that A game today. Get that week started off.
That's right. Bring your best. Right. Bring your best as if you're about to go to that next level based off of the action that you take. All right. So that's our time for this week on Thank God It's Monday. And until next time, have a great one.